Hello everybody, my name is David, and I'm here for National Drive Electric Week in Madison, Wisconsin. Today, let's learn about what it's like to drive an electric vehicle in Wisconsin. Hello.
Hello.
Tell me a little bit about yourself and who you are.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth. I live here in Madison. This is my BMW i3. I've had it about a year, bought it used off a lease return. And it is the BEV model, the battery electric. It doesn't have the range extender, so I am 100% dependent on charging. It's got about a 60 to 80 mile range depending on what the weather's like and how fast I drive.
Name something that you like about the car and tell us where can we get one.
The car matches my hair, but that's not my favorite thing about it. I love not having to go to gas stations. It handles really well, accelerates. It's fun to drive. That was unexpected, really fun to drive. I like that it's quiet, and it's a really cool car. This is probably the nicest car I've ever owned. I bought it from the BMW dealership in town. It came with an extended warranty as a used car. It was actually a really good experience. There's a lot of these coming off lease right now, and they don't cost nearly as much as they did new.
Great, so if you want one, just check out a BMW dealership near you. So, Elizabeth, do you or did you own an ICE car or internal combustion engine car? If so, how has driving electric changed you in your lifestyle and the people around you?
I have driven ICE cars up to this point. I've been looking at electric for a while. My car got totaled. This was the perfect time to jump in about a year ago. My husband drives a Subaru ICE, and that's our backup. This has become our primary car, which I didn't expect. But it's perfect just for getting around town. And for every mile we drive this, at the current price of gas and electricity, we save 8 cents. That doesn't sound like a lot, but it adds up. And as the gas prices go up, you save even more. In the year that I've owned this, I've had to borrow his car twice to get out of town to someplace where I wasn't comfortable that my range would take me, but only twice. And we use it for everything else.
So for 98% of the time, this does everything you need.
Exactly, yeah. I go to work and back. I can plug in at home, get a little more juice. I can go run some errands. I can go out at night and come back, and by the next morning it's fully charged again. It's extremely convenient, actually.
So you actually said something very interesting about home charging, right? So a lot of people out there don't know that when you have an electric car and you charge at home, you actually save a lot of time in that you don't have to sit with your car while it's refueling. Can you tell us what kind of charging setup you have at home? Tell us what that's like.
Well, I bought this in the winter, and it came with a 110-volt portable charger, which I still keep in the trunk for emergencies, but I haven't had to use it. And if I were to deplete this battery 100%, it would take maybe 11 hours to charge back up on that charger. It did make me a little less flexible, gave me a little more range anxiety, because sometimes I would plug in after work and then I'd go out again and the battery wasn't fully charged. It would be fine, but once the weather warmed up in the spring, I did hire an electrician and buy a 220-volt charger, and that is amazing. I mean, I plug in, an hour later it's fully charged again. I can do whatever I want.
So you're getting 60 to 80 miles per hour on this 220-volt charger.
I would say about 15 to 20 miles per hour, depending on which level of the battery you charge from. My commute to work is 15 miles round trip. As the battery gets fuller, it takes a little more time to charge because they don't want to overcharge it. So I can get topped up in about an hour.
Oh, okay. Sounds like you don't deplete the battery very often at all.
I don't. I think I've ended up with about 5 miles range a couple of times when I was just driving around town everywhere. But again, I mean, we use this for almost everything, and I've only had to borrow my husband's car twice.
Yeah, so this is something that a lot of people don't understand. With an EV, you just plug in every night. You don't wait until it's empty to then go and put gas or energy in it. Oh, I messed up there. Would you ever buy another gasoline car, and could this ever be your only car?
When I was considering buying this car, I talked to a friend who has a Leaf, and she says, once you go EV, you don't go back. It's true. I would not buy an ICE car. EV for life.
Hashtag EV for life, right? So Elizabeth, before we started recording, you started telling me a story about a very cold day in Wisconsin, and I said, oh, wait, hang on. We got to save that for the video. So tell me what happened, when this was, set the scene for us, and tell us what happened.
Okay, well, we had a day last winter when it was about 55 below wind chill, about almost 30 below actual temperature. It was one of those things where it was literally life-threatening to be outside. My office made it optional for people to come in, but my new boss was going to be there, so so I preconditioned my car. I got out on the road. I had about 40 miles of range because it was so cold. Batteries don't like cold, but they don't go to zero. You can still get around. I couldn't accelerate very well, but I made it to work. Out of a floor of about 500 people in my office, I was one of 6 people who made it in. And my coworkers were calling in, I'm really sorry, I meant to make it in, but my car wouldn't even turn over. And my car just rolled right out of the garage, and I made it home too. So it's a little harder to drive an EV in the winter, but it is not impossible to have something like this in a Wisconsin winter.
And at least it starts, right?
Yes, it always starts. Just push the button.
You said preconditioning a second ago. What is that?
Preconditioning is when the car climatizes. So in the winter, it heats it up, and in the summer, it cools it down while it's still plugged into a charger. So that saves you some range on the road because you don't have to be using the battery to, get it from 30 below to something comfortable. If you do it far enough in advance, it will also heat or cool the battery to the optimal temperature. So even when it's super cold, your battery is warm enough that it's actually operating efficiently. It's a really nice feature.
So about how far ahead would you want to precondition your car?
I think with this car, it's 2 to 3 hours in advance, but I have it automatically set to be ready about the time I leave for work in the morning. So it's perfect. I just unplug it in the car and I go. And I bought this in the winter, and the first day when I preconditioned it and I go into this cold garage and then I get in this nice warm car, I actually called my husband. I said, "This is awesome."
And what's really nice about these cars is that you can have them running inside your garage and they are not going to put any carbon monoxide in the air.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, Elizabeth, thank you so much for telling us about your BMW i3. Hashtag EV for life.
EV for life.
See you next time. Thank you for watching. If you want to see other videos from National Drive Electric Week in Madison, Wisconsin, please check the description below for a playlist. I'll see you there.